The National Human Rights Commission says between January and September 2024, 1,463 people were killed by non-state actors, while 1,172 Nigerians were abducted. The month of May recorded the highest number of fatalities with 298 deaths, while March saw the highest number of kidnappings, totaling 499. These statistics were presented at a workshop in Abuja organized by the NHRC and the European Union. NHRC Senior Human Rights Advisor Hilary Ogbonna highlighted the rise in human rights abuses, attributing it to the state's failure to protect its citizens. He also noted a disturbing trend of law enforcement officers being targeted, with 7 policemen killed in January alone. Well, joining me on the news to discuss this is security expert Augustine Ega. He joins me from Lagos. Good morning, Augustine. How do you think, better still, what do you think are the main causes of the dramatic increase in murders and also in kidnappings that occurred in Nigeria between January and September of 2024?
Good morning. It's my pleasure joining you this morning. I think the insecurity in Nigeria is not something we should be having now. We should be making progress, knowing where we are coming from. But it's very disturbing that we see ourselves going backwards after the nation has been through a lot. Some of the issues I will raise is like everybody, especially those at the highest decision making, should always take intelligence reports quickly and act on it before it escalates. Especially, I'm talking about, I'll start from the terror group that has just emerged, another one that has emerged in Sokoto. Sometimes when the field workers, the ground operation people get this information and escalate it, there's always a delay at the top to designate these organizations as a terror group so that they can easily reduce their capabilities. But unfortunately, they delay until they grow in their capabilities and begin to attack the poor citizens. Also, we know that regionally, we've been having these agitations, especially in the southeast, have been a red zone for a very long time, based on the Nnamdi Kalu issue till now. Some have taken that as an opportunity to begin to commit crime in that region, making it very ungovernable and unbearable for travelers at that point. And we don't know where this attacker is coming from. Are there people disguising themselves as a community just to create problems for that region? Are they paid to come there and create issues like killing the military people, or are they the community people themselves doing it? These are questions that we need to find out and then ask before, I will say, before the military will take any actions, so that poor citizens will not die. In terms of kidnapping, we also heard that the economic issues is also contributing. I agree that economic issues contribute to insecurity. If you want to deal with security issues, you have to also deal with economic issues. As long as we're having these hard times in Nigeria, people see crime as the end to their means, which is actually not the best. But I think that the government should also try as much as they can to deal with the economic issues. Kidnapping seems to be one of the easy ways at which they can easily grab souls and then negotiate for a ransom. And sometimes they even use them for ritual killings. I will also attribute to kidnapping why there's a rise because of the social media thing that we have in Nigeria. Everyone wants to be at the social media. We want to have a social media page that is active, that is liked by many people, thousands of people. They post all kinds of things, even regarding their families, their children, their homes. And people could see, the attacker could easily see what you have in your house. They flaunt their cars, their wealth, and all of that. And I think it is not a good thing. I have a friend that used to do that, and I called, I said, look, what you're doing, you are risking your family. Why should you be posting family pictures? Every good thing, even in your sitting room, people could see it on the internet. Don't you think you're bringing danger to your house? You say, oh, sorry, I didn't know about this. You have to change. So I think people should begin to classify their information and know which information they divulge. Okay, we just have a society where we just bring people in and divulge all kinds of information. So most times the attacker don't even need to come to your house. They profile from the social media and they mobilize and do what they want to do. People should be discreet about their movements. their children, especially the children houses. They know when they target them, they know where the children school, where they school, when they come back, which buses they follow. Even the drivers of their school buses today have compromised. So we're living a very dangerous time. So I think families should be very careful, and individuals should be careful how they handle their information. Now,
okay, Mr. Edgar, sorry to butt in. I want to also, I'd like for us to focus on the security and police officers themselves, some who have lost their lives. If you take a look at these statistics, I would also mention that in January, some police officers had lost their lives, and not quite long ago, in our first news bulletin, somewhere in the east, right there in Umuahia, we also saw police security operatives also losing their lives. So what steps can be taken to safeguard police officers and other security professionals, and what part do you think law enforcement agencies can play in halting the trend of targeted attacks on them?
Well, this is a very big one, because we observe that these police people, except the one that they bring to the in the line of duty, they pay a lot of price with their blood. I think the community need to be aware that these people are there to help them and not there for violence. They are there to secure them, and the people should not turn against them, use the opportunity to kill the security agencies that have been brought to them to help them. I think since it's happening in a geospace, we should say that there should be a community reorientation about the role of the police in their community. I think when they understand the role of the police or security operatives in their community, they will not turn violent. Rather, they will look for every means to protect them in case of danger. That is just what I will talk about in these communities. And now we have a way of crime profiling or crime profiling. They should always have a way of, they should have a backup plan for them. But we see technology-wise, we are still very backward. Our men now, they still do this traditional thing. And when they are under attack, like what we have, the military base and all of this police, it's difficult for a reinforcement to come because they are just operating like me and them. But in advanced places where they have technology all over their body, they could even be monitoring them when they know those places are red areas. They are hot zones. You see that people from the control room, I know the command center, they'll be monitoring those people at the checkpoint. They'll see at all times that they are okay and they are fine. But we don't have that, so they need to advance in technology. The policing in Nigeria need to advance in technology to protect their men.
All right. Finally, looking at the data, considering the spike in kidnappings in March and the high number of deaths in May, what security measures do you believe would be most successful in reversing the violent trends during these crucial months? We also have the Ember month, by the way. December is just here around the corner. We do understand that there's a lot of festivities, celebrations, and that's where you find nefarious acts taking place. Could you shed more light on what Nigerians should know? And back to also my first question, what you think can be done to stop that trend?
Whatever we can do is to reduce. It's very difficult to stop crime totally, but you can put out measures to reduce it. So reducing these measures start with us. We, the people, the victims themselves, that I mentioned something about social media. It has become something that everyone wants to receive some likes and all that people should not post their confidential things on the social media. They should try to classify the information and ensure that the ones they need to know, on a need-to-know basis, you give what people need to know, especially your details too, your business trips, your children and all of that. People should be very discreet on how they handle information concerning them and their families.
All right, Mr.
Because
Edgar.
some of the
All right, Mr. Edgar, thank you so much. I think we've run out of time on this conversation, but thank you for your thoughts and thank you for shedding more light on the insecurity situation that has been reported. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.